Welcome in, Kia ora, to another episode of the Podfathers. We got Trevor and Tom, T squared coming back, baby. Trevor, how you been the last week plus?
Doing good, bro. Good to see you guys. Happy to be here. Happy to talk ball with my boys once again. Talk a little Pods baseball. They're hanging in there. They're not the best team. They're not the worst team, but there's promise out there. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, and think we can make a run here. We've survived despite not being the best team on paper and not playing our best baseball, and we're still in it. So I think if we add a piece or two, we can make a run, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I was also lucky enough, honored to join the softball team last week, so appreciate that invite. Still
Hitting
sore.
dingers.
No, just singles. One single. Didn't like you said right before we popped on though, no whiffs. I'll take that. So
Dingers.
haven't swung the lumber for quite a while, so happy with that. And he's still a bit sore though, so might have to go on the IL here myself, just like Burger just did. But Tom, how you doing at this nice hour for you finally?
Yeah, I've been doing good. Been playing ball. Been doing fuck all else really. But watching the Padres, trying to trust this team. I think I'll trust them in the long run. But playing 500 ball at the moment, that will hopefully change. But yeah, been good.
I like it. Trevor, quick question. What would you give up to have another like summer, like just a classic school summer where you're just done for a couple months?
I would give up sex for a week. Definitely. Maybe even 2 weeks. I don't know if I could go a full month, but
Little dry June.
definitely, yeah, over a week, a little less than 2 weeks, I could do it.
I like it. Yeah, no, it's just I forget. I think someone like pointed that out on Twitter or something, where it's just like to have that feeling. You just like can't recreate that. Like it was just like such. Even when you're a
So
little kid,
good.
before the birds and the bees, it was just like I don't know. You're just
The
looking at that.
best.
But then on the flip side, it sucks going back. You're just like depressed for like a month. So,
But
but
you're also excited to like show off your new clothes, your
yeah,
new fits, and see all your friends. So
going to
it's good to get
Tilly's,
back. Once
Target.
you're like in it for a month, though, you're like, oh, I hate school. I don't want to go.
Yeah, it's like I'm over this. So enjoy the summer, Tom. Then you're coming back to the SD here, kind of tail into August, right before you got to go back to school. So that would be seems like an epic little summer 2025 for Tom. I like
Yeah,
it.
about 50 days left now, so buzzing for it.
Nice, mate. Not even no countdown or anything, but about 50. Yeah,
Yeah, close to 50, give or take.
Can we get a Twitter countdown for Tom?
absolutely.
Well,
It's
I
just
I actually got it on my phone somewhere. I think 52.
We just need a
2
mod in the
days.
chat to do it. Twitter countdown, please.
Yep.
Who's in the chat?
Grok, come on now. You can set it up. It'll be probably have more followers than like all of us combined in like 3 days. But anyways, lads, yeah, let's kind of move to the pods here. Like you said, Tom hit playing 500 baseball ish over the last kind of 2 months. I'd say I'd have to look up exactly. I know we had the hot start. We were like 14-3 or whatever, and now we're 43-36, sitting third in the NL West, 5.5 games back of the Dodgers. Half a game back of the wild card spot. So we're technically the season ended today. We're about almost halfway done with the season. I think we played what 79 games if my math is correct here. So two more to the official halfway point. The tiebreaker potentially against the Brewers seems like it's going to be a big deal. Didn't really seem like that at the time, but always good to have those in the back pocket. I mean, Trevor, I'll probably throw it over to you first. What are your just kind of general thoughts here in the first half of the season?
So when the season first started, man, I thought we were so good. We came out hot. The bullpen was lights out. You know, I was high on life. I thought we were going to be the greatest team we've ever had. I was hyped. Right now, I feel completely opposite of that. Really worried about just the team in general. The bullpen doesn't look great. But I'm still optimistic, man. I think they're a piece or two away. They were a great ball club, last season, one of the best in the league. We add a starting pitcher, we get healthy, we get Darvish back, we get Michael King back, we add Sandy Alcantara, Max Meyer, and we can make a run. I think it could happen. Add Josh Lowe. I think, yeah, they're a piece or two away. Xander Bogaerts gets going. We're going to be
Mhm.
nasty. There's promise for sure. I think we could still win a World Series this season. We can even take the division. The Dodgers are only what, 2 games ahead of us right now?
5.5 now. They've
Oh, five and
got
a half.
little bit. They've been on a
Whatever. It
run.
feels like two. And I think we can still steal the division or at least get a wild card spot. Anything can happen once you're in the dance. So I'm still confident in the team. They've been bad, and I'm not feeling great about it. But I still think that it's a very long season. They can get hot, and anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's kind of been like a tale of two seasons. I think when Laura was on the pod maybe last year, she was saying how Kirby, our was that our first base coach? What's his full name?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wayne Kirby.
Wayne Kirby. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, how he would always say that the season's in like four parts, right? So just break it up into quarters. First quarter was phenomenal. That hot start. I mean, how important is that hot start now when we're looking back? I mean, who knows if we were a 500 ball club there, if we would have went on a run. Baseball's so cyclical, but just looking at the results, like that first quarter was extremely, extremely crucial. We've been beat up in quarter number two, and we're about to go on to quarter number three here in a couple games. So, I'm with you too, Trevor. Just I think there is still a lot of underachievements happening. There's been a lot of injuries, a lot of hiccups. Our bench has not panned out the way, our depth hasn't really panned out the way that we hoped. And I think that's kind of been the X factor, that and the starting pitching compared to last year. But if we, go back 12 months, from here, look back a year ago, weren't we just under 500 or just over 500, like at the end of May or June? Like we were not a
Yeah,
very good ball
similar.
club. And
And we're
then we
beat
went
up
on a
right now,
run.
bro.
Yeah. So
Merrill's been on the IL.
like twice. Like yeah,
Yeah.
with Toddy's been hot and cold. Manny's kind of been
Mhm.
that one consistent figure, other than for the most part our big four in the bullpen there. So yeah, I think it's all going to come down to the trade deadline and getting Fernando hot and getting Merrill
Yeah.
hot. But yeah, Tom, what are your thoughts here so far as we're approaching the end of the halfway point?
It's obviously been disappointing now over past month or two. Like Trevor said, that first 2 weeks, or like the bit where we went unbeaten, felt like we were on top of the world. We're gonna go 162 and 0, but yeah, it's definitely dropped down now. But like if you look at last season, I think we went into the All-Star break pretty much 500, and that kind of gives me a lot more hope that second half Shilty can kind of push us through the end. And I kind of feel like as well we do perform especially towards the end of the season a lot better than other
Mm-hmm.
teams. So I do hold hope on that. Obviously, we're not fully healthy now. Still got Michael King and Yu Darvish out, and now Ryan Berger out for 15 days or however many days he'll be on the IL now. But yeah, and Prella as well. He likes to put in a sneaky move sometime around now.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's like maybe off the radar, but
Good
a lot of the
call.
time it does really work. So I'm excited to see hopefully who he does. But yeah, it's disappointing now, but I'm feeling it might change.
Yeah, and I mean we've been through the shits really for the last month plus, and we're still half game out of a playoff spot. So if we're looking about the where this team could go, kind of what you both are saying, yeah, I'm in full agreement there. I'm still optimistic, and I mean, obviously, like we've already said, the last month plus has been like horrible, not horrible, but just like definitely underachieving. So I think we'll
Injured.
we'll pick it up.
Wait, quick
Yeah,
question. I know this isn't on the
yeah,
agenda, but what do we
throw
think
it,
about that Dave Roberts and second half Shilty interaction? That was wild.
Tom. You want to start with
First off, I fucking hate Dave Roberts with a
that?
a passion.
Bleep, bleep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like Schulte's definitely gonna win that war. We're winning
He's a
the
dog.
West. Hot take there.
Love
But
it.
The
if they're
West.
if they're fighting, then I think I know who I'm backing. I think I know who my money's on.
I think Scans would kick his ass. Just get Scans out there.
I like that. No, I mean, there's all the videos that came out. Like he clearly instigated it, and then he ran away like a little puss that he is. And then he's gonna say, "I'm gonna kick your ass." After there's a wall of players in between
Meet me in
them.
the parking lot.
Meet me in the
Or
parking
meet
lot.
me
Meet me
after the
after the
game or
game or
whatever he
whatever.
said. He's a
Dude.
dork, bro.
Well, I mean, I feel like everyone just needs, if they haven't, like listened to Woods on 97.3 The Fan and his breakdown of just he's such like a pick me bitch, you know what I mean? Where it's just like all about peacocking and just being,
Subterfuge and
yeah, like it just, I don't know. He's such a fraud. And if it wasn't for that roster, like even what he's doing now, like you're looking at the bullpen being like they're a good 50 innings plus more than any other bullpen. And I know that they've had a ton of injuries, which is like probably something that they should look at and address. But the way that it's utilized, like bringing in Kike for, he's pitched already like 20 plus innings this year, like, and having these like 1 inning starts and then, throwing in Robleski or not throwing him in, even though he should have been like already playing like the mind game. I mean, some people could say, oh, that's so smart because you can't prepare. But it's like, dude, it's just tacky to me, like at this
it's
point of the
tacky.
year.
It's Bush League.
I don't know. I don't
Mid-June, bro.
mid-June. Yeah, it's like you're
On.
having Shohei like tee up for that. And I don't know. It's just he's all whatever he feels is gonna get, the guy's fired up, and it seems so fake to me, to be honest. But yeah,
Hate him.
yeah, he was never like that as a player too. And usually you like calm down as you get older. So that to me is like I don't know, he's just putting on an act, man. Like he literally is trying to like protect his guys, but
He's trying to get an edge
yeah,
by throwing
that's not you.
smoke or creating chaos to
Yeah,
distract the other team. And I
yeah,
guess it worked in the playoffs, so he's just doing it more and
yeah,
more with Manny threw the ball at me. Like,
yeah.
bro,
Which like that's officially when I lost all respect for him. Like I mean, there's always an element of respect when you have guys that have like been there, done that. Like he was a former Padre from San Diego, went to
yeah,
RBV high school. But when you're purposely going out there and then after the fact you're saying, oh, like he didn't really mean it. I was just trying to fire guys up and create a hit piece basically, like on Manny just to
yeah,
add to
to
his
admit it
thing.
too, it's crazy.
Like, yeah, first of all, don't admit it. Second of all, like that's just so I don't know. If you're having to do that, you're soft, man. Yeah,
Agreed. Yeah, man. I mean, I never really looked too much into it. We're all just dudes, and
yeah,
LA's not that far away. I didn't care about the rivalry that much. Like in real life, I'm not like, damn, I actually like really hate this guy.
yeah,
But after all this, like he's the one guy in baseball that I'm just like, fuck that guy. Like I like
literally,
actually don't like him in real life. Like
yeah.
my feelings never really get involved. It's all just for fun. It's a
No,
hobby. I
yeah, yeah.
love baseball. I love sports, and I love following the game.
Hmm.
But I actually fucking hate this guy. Like I think he's such an asshole. Just all the gimmicks and stupid bullshit. I think he's goofy. I think he's a dork, and I literally don't like him.
Yeah, it's just
1,000 views on the podcast and his address gets leaked.
yeah, thanks a lot for reporting me on that. I obviously would never do that, even though Trevor, you got
1,000 likes, and I'll bang his wife
dude,
Again,
again, yeah.
for a third time, actually.
Dude, I don't know. He's a piece of shit, honestly. It's just, yeah, pick me, bitch. I think that's
Yep.
the best way to like describe him. But anytime you come for like a player too, like as being a former player, regardless of like what team they're on, like if you're purposely trying to sabotage like their image or career or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
like there's no place in the game for that. So,
Agreed.
and whatever. But yeah, good. Yeah. Glad to get that out of my system. We didn't really talk about that in the last one, Tom. So, um, fuck Dave Roberts. But anyways, some moves back to the Padres here. I've got all my energy away from the
Yeah,
Dodgers
I
there.
feel better now. I
Feels
feel
so much
good.
better. Yeah. I feel even better that Hayward's been DFA'd. That was a long-standing move that needed to be made. Hoeing's back. Reynolds was down, but now he's back because Bergert's on the IL with that forearm contusion, taking that 103-mile-per-hour pitch off the forearm yesterday. And then Merrill's off the IL as well. So I thought that was, obviously really good to see, especially because it's a 7-day concussion IL. But that's just the minimum. Some guys don't bounce back after a week. I think it probably looked like they're throwing him on there just to be precautionary anyways in the first place, but good to see that he's done with has no side effects or anything like that. So super, super promising to see. But one guy that we've already mentioned that I want to give more of a light to, Manny Machado, 9 hits away from 2,000 in his career. I'm like subtly kind of hoping that he goes on a little bit of a drought for my personal sake, so I can try and catch like a game just I'm just gonna go to like every game. If he hasn't hit 2,000, like I'm going to the entire like Rangers series just to try to see it in person. But model consistency just obviously throughout his career, but he's really been like our captain this year, just actually seeming like he can go through any part of the season without having a lull in offensive production. Defensively, he's had a little bit of some hiccups, but he's been much better lately as we would expect him to. But yeah, Trevor, what's your thoughts so far on Manny, just as a Padre in general, but
Yeah, I
just in
think
this
Manny's
year?
a dog. I think having a full off season to prepare this off season really helped him. Last year
Yeah,
he didn't have that. He came into camp a little not as prepared as he normally is because he had that elbow surgery, so he wasn't
yep,
able to lift and have his off season program like he normally would. I think that led to a slow start. Obviously, he got going and had his 30 home run season and 100 RBIs. You could always
just
book that. But
yeah,
he
pen
came
that
in
in.
this season with a fire lit up under him and balled. He's balling out. He's insane. He's best third baseman in the game, in my opinion. His defense is still there. He's had a couple lapses, but those are more so mental lapses and not because he's
Yeah,
not
like
as good with the
not good.
glove. But yeah, he's hitting great. He's really carrying the team. I don't know where they would be without him. Absolute dog. Love him. Captain. Sign his ass.
Sinus ass. Can we just get the C on his chest like already?
That'd be
Like,
sick.
why is that? Why is that not happened? Do you feel? Is it just because we did never had that like organizationally?
I mean, I feel like we rarely see that. Like, I've
Yeah,
only seen it with Sal Perez on the
yeah,
Royals. That's probably the only time. I know Jeter was a captain of the Yankees. He didn't have
yeah.
one. So I don't know. I mean, is he formally the captain of the team?
I would say so. Like me personally, he's
I
gonna be
mean,
here for a long time. Like
I mean,
he seems
yeah,
like he's like got
he's the captain. I think
yeah.
it goes without being said, but have they like formally named him the Padres captain?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so. But like how good also is we were just talking about like image and credibility and stuff. If an organization is gonna give him the captaincy, like clearly there's stuff going on in the background that they feel that he deserves it, and maybe we
Yeah,
will
he
see
deserves
less
it.
hit pieces on
Yeah.
Manny.
And how many more jerseys would you sell, Grupner?
Dude,
Manny with the C. Marketing. Gotta do
yeah,
it.
I think so. Tom, what are your thoughts on Manny so far this year and just in general?
This year now definitely heated up. Well, not like in the past 7 games, but like he's heated up with Slug. He started the season not the
Yeah.
best. He hit like 3 or 4 homers in his first like 40 odd games, but now he's been on a bit more of a tear,
Hmm.
hitting for power, which is what we need at the moment. None of our guys have really been outstanding in slugging, so. That's what we need now. And obviously, at the start of the season, he had a couple of errors. I think that's starting to get past him as well. So that's obviously nice. Obviously, still the best defensive third baseman. So yeah, I'm happy with him at the moment. He's in a little bit of a cold stretch, I think. I think I looked over the past 7 days, he's hitting like 170 or something like that. But he's Manny Machado. That's going to change. So. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for him now.
Yeah, and I think that the key with that is if you're gonna go cold, if you have the slug with it, that's huge, right? Like pretty much the whole, and we were saying that on the pod, like don't worry, the power's gonna come. But if Manny can, have because he's just like anyone's gonna have a little dip in form. If the slug's still there, or it's even better than it was, then that helps. If you're going a buck 70 over a 7 game period with like no extra base hits or like a double or something, that's when it's starting to affect the squad. And I just feel like the timing of his production this year has been so much better than it has in the last couple seasons as well. That clutch factor is like totally back. I know that was a big topic on Twitter a few weeks ago, and pretty much ever since then, it seems like he's just clutch after clutch, even getting us back into games. Right, like yesterday, perfect example. We're down 3-0 and he hits a bomb, right? Yeah, didn't he start the game off? That might have been the game before, but yeah, he's been breaking the deadlock, and just doing shit like that. So he's gonna be probably our only sole All-Star game starter this year. I mean, unless like Toddy goes on an absolute tear in the next like week, or Merrill does too. Toddy's the closest in terms of votes. I don't have that in front of me, but I think he was sixth, if if I'm not mistaken. And I think the top two make it, and then the next six go into like a vote off or whatever. So I think Toddy will still make it, but right as of right now, like he's our one starter as he should be, and everyone's kind of giving him credit there. So good to see. But speaking of Toddy, I feel like he's been battling with himself back and forth the last couple months. Like started the year obviously insanely hot. It's just been really hot or really cold. Last 7 games, he's hitting a buck 15 with 3 hits, 2 of those being home runs. So again, going back to like at least if we're gonna be cold, like get that slug in. But the last 15, he's hitting 283 with just only those 2 home runs. But average was up, on base was much higher. It's about 430 over the last 15. So clearly being hot and cold. And that's been Toddy's kind of whole career. When he's hot, he's scorching. When he's cold, he's in his head, and he just doesn't do very well for an extended period of time. But the one thing that's always been there the last few years is the defense. He's by far and away the leader in defensive runs saved so far across the league. I think he might be even like 5 runs above anyone else. I think he's plus 11 on the year. Might be 4 or 5 runs, but run saved. So collectively, we're seeing base pass defensively. That's why his WAR is always crushing it, right? But do you think Trevor there's going to be a more consistent kind of breakout with the bat? I feel like it's there. It just like hasn't quite happened yet.
Yeah, I feel like there always is with him. He'll get hot. He's a up and down type of player. Hopefully there's some more bounce there to close out the season. But yeah, he'll definitely get on an insane stretch here, like he was in the playoffs last season.
Hmm.
And he'll be just as hot as he is cold right now. And I think he'll get rolling. He's kind of experimenting with the toe tap right now. It's something you pointed out
Yeah.
earlier. So once he finds it, he's all about vibes, bro. Once he's feeling good, he's unstoppable. I think he has his dad got like attacked by a dog, and since he's been pretty cold, so he's just maybe a little down because of that. But once he starts feeling it, he's unconscious. So I think that will happen soon. Hopefully, obviously the sooner the better. So I think he'll get going. He's hit a couple bombs here in the last few games, and I think that's a sign that he's starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Again, that whole like slug when you're cold thing, it seems like that's my MO for the pod. But and then, yeah, like you said, vibes wise, like this squad is just built for vibes too. Like they always play up or play down to the
Mhm.
competition or the situation. Like whenever we're going against like the Dodgers, or and I know we didn't have like a very good like win-loss against them, but that energy and just the whole buy-in of that is so there. It's really streaky, and that's baseball in general. You got 162 games, you can't be that dialed in every single
Mhm.
game. But then they also play down to the competition, right? Like when we play like worse teams or face a mediocre type of starting pitching, that's when I think we'll
Hate
see.
seeing the Rockies.
Yeah, like that's where we
Hate to
see us
see them
struggle
coming from.
the most. So, Tom, yeah, real quick, you think Toddy's gonna break out here soon?
I mean, yeah, we know what's going on like with his life. Well, we don't fully know, but um I think we've seen all the reports and stuff. But I feel like he's slugging the ball a lot better now. I think that game was 2 days ago, that loss against the Nationals. Obviously, he hit the home run, the first
Yep.
one since May, was it, or something like that.
Yeah.
But and I feel like he's been slugging a lot more as well. I think he had a pretty deep one again that game or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's starting to look a bit better, kind of starting to look more himself, more enjoying the game. But like you said, in the clubhouse as well, he's there for vibes. He's there, just to get these boys hyped up, get them riled up. So I'm not too worried about him if this slump starts going into over the All-Star break or after the All-Star break, then maybe, but I really can't see that happening. He's Fernando Tatis Jr. Like
Yeah.
he'll sort this all out. So
We just
Yeah.
need one more guy to get going with Manny. If we have Merrill or Toddy
Yep.
going, we can win games.
Yeah, and that's where Manny taught. I was just gonna say that, Trevor, read my mind. If Fernando and Merrill can get going again, then that puts less pressure on Manny. And then that who's been super hit or miss, like no pun intended this year, he's not missing a lot, is Arise. Like there has to be some sort of stretch run where he's just on
He will.
fire, getting. So that's coming too. So that's where kind of going back to the beginning of just general thoughts, like on how the season's gone so far. I feel like there's been so many guys that have underachieved or are poised for just like regression to their, career means, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's coming, and I feel like it's all gonna click.
I
Hasn't
do
really
too.
shown that,
I
but
think they're gonna get hot. They're all
yeah,
gonna start clicking. You can clip this up when it happens. We're gonna go on a win streak here. Those guys are gonna be hitting Toddy, Arias, even Bogarts. He's getting going a little bit. And we're gonna get hot, baby. We're gonna make our run. We're gonna win, 7, 8 in a row. We're gonna make things interesting.
I love the fact they're going to Cincinnati. Just get the slug up, like get Xander to squeak a couple over the left field
Small
wall.
little
It's like,
ballpark.
yeah, 250 feet. It's obviously not that small, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, I think it's perfect timing. And then playing up to the
Much bigger in real
competition.
life, I swear.
Yeah, camera doesn't do it justice. It's the angle.
Uh, hey, quick question for Tom. Tom, were you cheating on us the other day? On another pod.
No comment. No comment on that one.
Damn, how was it?
It was no, it was fun to be fair. You know how the Divine Boys they got name dropped.
Yeah,
They're
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 chill.
they're sounders. So
Little
yeah,
collab action.
it was
Yeah,
nice. It was like it wasn't really a podcast. It was more of just like an in-game thing, in-game like
Dude,
stream.
so how does that go? Do people like just watch you guys live and comment like in a chat?
So it's like this app where
Discord or
no, it's called Playback. So you
okay.
can, if you have MLB TV, you can like log into your account and you can watch the game while watching us and
No way.
speak at
Damn.
the same time.
I
So
How many
think
viewers did they have?
probably a lot. Yeah,
um, I think I can't remember the other night. I think it was probably like close to 100. But I remember the
Nice.
Dodger series, they got to about 200, I think. I
Can
could be
anyone
wrong,
just do
but
it, or do they have to be like
I think
I
you have to
think yeah,
sign up,
anyone.
right?
Yeah, you'll have to sign up, but I think anyone can like host it or do whatever. So yeah,
nice?
it's a really good format. It's fun as well, like especially in the game because we got hit pretty hard in like one of those innings. But
Yeah,
it's instead of just being like slouched in my room, like what the fuck am I doing at this time?
you
It's
talk to
more
the
like you
boys.
can
Yep.
yeah, you can actually speak. So it is a lot more fun and like it's fun to watch as well. That was my first time on, but I've watched a couple of times. So yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
it was
Well,
definitely fun.
you
We should
heard
do one,
about
yeah.
Trevor. You heard about like whoever stole Tom's freaking username. That was on the playback, wasn't it?
Bro,
No, I
yeah,
didn't
that
I
Someone
didn't hear
was
took.
about that.
Oh my gosh.
Someone
bro.
stole Welsh Friar?
For
Yeah,
that
no,
specific like
thing is,
that account. Yeah.
you can have the same name as other people. So
Yeah.
somebody used my name, used my profile picture, and put
Oh,
words
no
that
way.
I can never say. Um,
Oh,
um,
damn.
Yeah.
that that
Damn.
that kind of had a bad look on me. But luckily,
That's
obviously, I
crazy.
know Matt, so Matt
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
probably
got all that
Friar
down.
Rigo. Damn it, Rigo. Leave Tom alone.
Yeah, I blame Rigo.
That's so funny. Yeah, that no, that's and I think what's super sick about that too is like the fact that you can watch the game. Like there's so Tom, like you've done it in the past too, where it's like
Yeah, I used to do it.
you're just like, but you as a viewer, you can't see the game at the same time unless you have it on, right? So
Mm,
the fact that that like app program like builds in the you being able to watch the game and the reactions at the same time versus it just being like watching us like talk shit, you know what I mean? Then
yeah,
yeah, I think that's sick. So yeah, we'll see if we can get that like rolling. That'd be fun.
Yeah, let's start doing it. I'm
Uh,
trying
yeah.
to
I
get some
was.
press passes from Grubner, little
I like it.
Podfather's press pass. So, let's start doing that
I
out
like
there.
it.
We're official. Come on, Eric.
Yeah, yeah. My you want your sound system to work? My dad's buddy just set it up for you, Eric. So just kidding.
I get a little bit of industry plan action going.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, Tom.
I have a large following, Eric, large audience,
Combined, we're
very
almost at
influential.
10K.
I'm an influencer.
We get a couple hundred people listening to each episode of the pod. That's enough, right? Um, one thing though that has been a huge talking point, obviously, because we're facing the Natties, is the Soto trade. So to kind of pivot over to that, I have a Sunny Boys.
Uh,
I got a good little like thread that I want to post here on Twitter
Mhm.
soon. But just to summarize kind of what happened back in August of 2022, the Padres received Juan Soto and Josh Bell. The Nationals received C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel III, James Wood, Jarlin Susana, and Luke Voigt. Asterisk, asterisk, like you said before we started recording, Trevor. October 2022, Padres reached first NLCS in about 24 years, 24, 25 years. Then the reason this has been such a discussion because the Nationals socials, which to be honest, I think the Nationals probably have like the best social media management in all of baseball. They just are always on top of like whatever's hot with the new ones, with all the new ones, the little kids and stuff. But they said fleece them when Abrams and James Wood just absolutely fleeced us in game one. They destroyed us single handedly. So that has brought a lot of discussion on that trade being an absolute fleece job by the Nationals. Now, having James Wood, Abrams, and Gore just in those three coming back, insane package to go back for the Nationals. You absolutely cannot deny that. What a lot of people want to just not pay attention to and not focus on as well is we got a Juan Soto for a year and a half. And then we flipped him and Trent Grisham for Michael King, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, Drew Thorpe, and Kyle Higashioka, who then we used Drew Thorpe, which we all pretty much know this, but just to do a recap, Drew Thorpe was then part of a package to get Dylan Cease. So we traded Drew Thorpe, Jairo Iriarte, Steven Wilson, and Samuel Zavala for Dylan Cease, who had multiple years of control just like Juan Soto did. So I've been doing a little bit of digging to see how valuable that they have been in each team's tenure. Juan Soto for the 2 years, so this is also including his Nationals one. I need to start the exact timeline of when he got traded back in August 22. But for the 2 years, including the Nationals one, so it'd be a little bit less than this, but it was 9.8 WAR, so probably closer to like 8.5, I would imagine. Josh Bell, same thing. I got to look up his half a season. I think it was probably about half a WAR. Michael King so far 5.3, Vasquez 0.7, Brito 0.3, Kyle Higashioka last year 1.6, Dylan Cease 7.1. So collectively, we're looking at a little over just about 25 if I'm doing some quick math
Mm.
of wins above replacement. And again, this is not including, once some of those guys have moved on, like Higashioka on the Rangers. It's only time spent on the Padres. For the Nationals, James Wood 4.6, stud. Gore 7.0, Abrams 6.7. So we're looking at, 17, 18 right there.
Mm.
Susana's been stuck in double A. Voit had a negative WAR when he was on the Nationals for the second half of the year. And Hassel the third, when he came up, he racked up a negative zero point 0.5 WAR in the short amount of time that he's been there. So all that to say, definitely if you're looking specifically at the Juan Soto and the Nationals one, I would do that still probably 10 out of 10 times with where we're at in terms of what we're trying to do with Peter Seidler at the helm. And then if we dig a little bit deeper, it looks like the guys that AJ's actually brought forward as of right now has provided a lot more value for the squad in general. So kind of a little bit of a waffle in there. Tom, what are your thoughts on the Juan Soto trade? Did we get fleeced?
I wouldn't say fleeced is the word. I'm leaning towards the Nats kind of winning the trade in a way. In a way as well, I don't feel like either team lost the trade. I feel like
Yeah.
altogether the Yankees lost. They were the main losers after seeing Soto go. But the main reason Soto came was to win a World Series, and that didn't really happen. And I mean, the trade for it was Higashioka, King, and then obviously on for Cease. They've worked really well, but like again, we haven't hit the main goal. We haven't got a ring yet. So, um, like in the long term, I think the Nationals are going to win it now that we've got all these contracts expiring. Obviously, Higgy's gone. Cease and King, they're on their last years now, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cease definitely is. King has an option, but they would never take
You
that.
won't
Yeah.
use it. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, whereas Wood, CJ, and Gore, and even Hassel, if he starts, doing well, he didn't look. I feel like his WAR didn't really say what he did, and yeah, I think he hit like two bombs or something in the short amount of time he was up. But these guys are prospects; they're going to be on that Nationals team for a decent amount of time. So although they're not good, the Nationals as a whole, it's nice to have those core guys to kind of build yourself up. So I'd
hmm
say neither team lost, and the Yankees lost.
I like it, Trevor.
I think James Wood is nasty. I think he's a great player, but we knew that. We knew he was ascending. We knew he was going to be awesome. The other guys are kind of what we thought they were. Abrams is an above average player. He's an all-star. He's good. We knew that's what he was going to be. He's not a James Wood. He's not a Soto. He's a good player. Mackenzie Gore, he's had 2 great months to open the season. Does that mean he's as good as a Dylan Cease or a Paul Skeens? I don't think so. I don't think he's at that top tier. He's leading the league in Ks. He has a great ERA right now. I think he's under 3. He's had a great breakout start to the season. Is that gonna last all season? Check back with me in October. I'll say he's gonna be over a 3 ERA, maybe even 3.5. And yeah, he's gonna rack up the Ks, but I don't think he is a perennial all-star. And that's kind of we knew he was going to be this kind of player. We knew he had upside. The other couple guys, Jarlin Susanna and Hassel. Susanna might be pretty good. He throws hard. He's a middle relief guy. I see him as a potential closer. And then Hassel, he's a fourth outfielder. Maybe will be a starter one day, but not very good. We knew that's who he was. So. I think back on it, yeah, the trade hurts a lot, but the marketing dollars that Soto brought in, like Taylor Swift made the NFL $1 billion in marketing money. We made a lot of money from Soto taking us to the NLCS. Do we go to the NLCS without him? Probably not. So you got to factor that in.
Hmm.
Um, and then also you get King and Cease out of that. Would you do Dylan Cease for Gore and Abrams? Yeah, probably. Would you do a King for a James Wood at the time? Probably. So you get 2 superstar pitchers for a superstar player, and then 2 all-star players in Abrams and Gore. So I think it was a fair trade. That's what trades are supposed to be. I don't think
Yeah.
it was a fleece either way, except for the Yankees, like Tom said. But yeah, it was a trade to help both teams. It got the Padres to where they wanted to go. They wanted to make a deep playoff run, and they did, and they made a lot of money from it with playoff shares,
Hmm.
etc. So it was a good deal. The Nationals still suck. They lost like 10 in a row recently. So
A lot.
if they were so good, they'd be better. Okay, leave me alone. But yeah, James Wood makes me
Yeah.
sick. Like I just get so sad because he is so good, and that one hurts. But I do think with how big he is, this is something to point out. He's gonna have to stay in peak shape for his whole career. He's gonna be good right now when he's young because he's still agile and
Hmm.
his swing's not slowing down as long as he's skinny. But once he gets his dad bod, his bat speed's gonna slow down and he might not be as good. So that's something to look at in, 7, 8 years. He might not be dominant, but yeah, he's gonna really have to stay on his meal plan and in the weight room. And if he stays trim, he'll be good. But if he does put on a few, he's a big dude. He's naturally gonna be a big guy,
Yeah.
and that will slow him
Like
down.
six,
And
seven, right?
yeah, he's gonna lumber around
Yeah.
a little bit. So we'll see what he turns into. But yeah, he'll be phenomenal as long as he stays trim.
Yeah, and I think I completely agree with you, Trevor, and with the fact that James Wood to me is the one that we saw the raw talent, and you could tell why the national deal. Like that was they weren't gonna do it without getting James Wood for a reason.
Yeah,
He was a dog. It just even in like low A at the time, you could just
you could
nothing
see
is
it.
a for sure thing. He was probably as close to a for sure thing as that you can identify at such an early age, just with how he was developing. And AJ probably deserves a lot of credit on identifying him out of college. I just got a little
At least
internet
we
thing
kept
here.
Merrill.
So, yep. You boys can hear me okay? I just had a little internet
Yeah, I saw it.
spikeage. Awesome.
You were talking fine, but you paused on video.
On the video. Cool.
Yo, he drafted Chase Burns in that draft as well.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
And then he went to Tennessee. So he
Yeah,
just didn't
yeah.
sign. That's insane. But so yeah, I mean, and then if I remember correctly, when he was in the minor leagues, he was elite with his speed. And right now on Baseball Savant, it's showing 69th percentile, nice, 28 feet per second. Um,
What's his BA right now?
Batting average is 270. Oh no, excuse me, that's through two
Probably like
seasons.
270
281.
something. 281.
281. Yeah, 938 OPS. Like his batting run value is 97th percentile on Baseball Savant. Like he is a dog when it comes to
He's
the
good.
to the lumber. Like he's like almost Aaron Judge numbers in terms of batting percentile. I know that like Aaron Judge percentile versus like 97th is like a huge step down, but still he's doing phenomenal. But then as a 22-year-old, like if you're maybe he's just hasn't had the chance to like sprint, or the fielding seems like his base running value is about 67th percentile, fielding run value is 52. I could see him probably becoming a full-time DH by the time he's 30 years old,
Yep,
so kind of
agreed.
like a Juan Soto there too. So but yeah, he's definitely the one that hurts the most for sure. And just having that lefty power bat, he would just slot into left field so nice for us,
He
obviously.
didn't really seem like a hard worker. I've seen him on MLB Network in an interview, and he just
Mhm.
like hearing him talk, bro. I was like, damn, does this guy
Just
just like smoke weed all
so
day, every day? Like,
talented.
I
Yeah.
don't know if he does, but like that's the thought I had. I was like,
Uh-huh.
this guy's blazed out of his mind. Like he's talking so slow and like just seemed like really lazy. I don't know if that means anything. That's just my,
Yeah.
you know, perception of him that he could be the hardest worker in the world. But I feel like, yeah, his voice and his mannerisms might reflect that he's not that hard of a worker. So we'll see
Yeah.
how he pans
Yeah.
out.
And again, like only time will tell if we get like truly fleeced or not. But yeah, I think point being with all the wars and stuff, like I think AJ's done a phenomenal job of not only utilizing Soto for the year and a half we had him, but then also flipping him for then for
Yeah,
the others that he got. But speaking of flipping guys, last real quick before we wrap up here, quick little trade update. I know we've kind of touched upon that a little bit. Trade deadline's a little over a month away, so you're starting to get a little more rumblings, some more articles thrown out there. Left field and catcher is still the huge hole. I would probably throw in starting pitching as well. You can never one have too much starting pitching, and we have no idea if King and Darvish are going to come back, or in a week or 2 weeks or a month or never. So that would probably be on the radar as well. Um, but yeah, left field, Tom, I know Taylor Ward's kind of your guy. Is that who you're still kind of honing in on?
Yeah, package deal with Taylor Ward and Logan O'Hoppe would be the two. I feel like it'd be a big cost. They both have pretty decent slug. So, and that's what we need at the moment, but we're
Yeah.
looking at some pretty high up prospects to trade for those two. And I feel like the Angels don't really trade too much either, which is
No, they
a
don't.
bit annoying. But if we can get those two, I really do think that we're going to be a lot better. As yeah, they don't really hit for average, which isn't great, but just slug at the moment, and like a good catcher. I mean, O'Hobby's not the best defensively, but
No, he's not.
he can hit dongs, which is what Moldy or Diaz cannot do. Well,
Except for
maybe
last
Moldy
night.
after last night. Yeah, I was gonna say last night, but yeah, those are the two that I've been kind of raving on about. Another one in mind, Adolis Garcia. I feel like he's got a little bit of pop onto him. Um, Not as many home runs this year as I think I'd like, but he's
Be a good
been
thing though for the trade value. So
yeah, yeah, 100%, and he's fairly cheap as well. From a salary standpoint, I think Trevor, you said like 10 million this year, and then
yeah, it'd be less
arbitration
than
next
that
year.
though at the deadline because half of it's paid already. So it'd probably
Yeah,
be like 4.5.
yeah. So it's not like looking at Luis Robert, who's owed like a massive amount.
I think he was
So
15 to start the year. So yeah, he's more like 7.
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
Adolis Garcia probably on the radar. Apart from that, that's
What
all
about
I can
with
think of.
Higgy? Bring back Higgy and Adalis.
That would feed
That'd be
families.
nice.
I would love that, bro.
I'd like
I
that.
would.
Yeah,
That'd
and
be
Higgy's having a
awesome.
pretty down year, but like, dude, he started the year awful last year. I mean, a lot of a lot of us kind of forget that, but he was so bad the first
He's
like
not
six
playing a lot, I
weeks.
feel like, because they have
Mm-mm.
Heim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He needs that every day. But
Yeah.
that's a great shout, Tom and Trevor. Especially I didn't even think about that, but yeah, Higgy and Adalis,
That'd
like
be
that would
sick.
be. And I'm looking at their, what goes into this too is like if they're gonna be buyers, they're gonna be sellers. The Astros have caught fire the last like month and a half, so they're well ahead in the division. Angels are 39 and 40. They're third. Rangers are 39 and 41. They're fourth. They're right behind them. In terms of a wild card spot, the Hail is so weak, but Angels are 2.5 out. Rangers are three. I feel like you made a good point there, Tom, how like the Angels never seem to trade. Like they never seem to sell, especially when they should have been selling like left, right, and center these last few years. Um, they're probably going to try and do what they always do and buy like a Giolito or someone. Again, they're not going to
I
buy him
think they
again, I
did
don't
that.
think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's more of an example of like why they did that at the time. Like they were not, they should have been selling. But so yeah, I don't think that's going to be the toughest part right there is just to see if they're going to sell. So give it another couple weeks and might be a more of a clear picture if guys are going to be buying or selling. But
I think the Orioles are sellers. Charlie Morton, Eflin, maybe O'Hearn, Mullins in the outfield.
yeah,
A couple relievers, Gregory Soto. Like him a lot. How sick would Soto be in the back end of the bullpen? Lefty
dude,
throws gas.
yeah,
That'd be
he's
sick.
nasty. He's
Yeah, would
nasty.
love
Just having a
him and
southpaw.
Mullins or something or O'Hearn. Got to
Twins
be
are
the right
terrible
price
right
though.
now.
What?
37 Twins are 37 and 42.
Oh,
Orioles are
really?
38 and 41. So those are kind of the squads that, might end up selling for this year to come back because they were both all three of those teams the Orioles, Twins, and Royals were really, really good last year. So they might think that there's still windows there, but if they retool this year, you know.
Yeah, I
Uh,
hate trading with the Twins. They're like kind of tough to deal with.
yeah. What about you,
But they
Trevor?
do have Buxton, but I think Buxton's injury prone. I'd
Yeah.
rather trade for someone else. You can't really count on him.
No.
Yeah.
Who you targeting?
So my guy, Josh Lowe
I
on the
like it.
Rays. Padres love trading with the Rays. He's a lefty bat, arbitration eligible through 2028. Good hitter. I feel like we need another lefty. He can play all three spots in the outfield. Kind of a Preller guy, in my opinion. I don't know at all, but Um, feel like he could be a target for the Padres. We'll see. I know they like Zach Littell, get a
Yeah.
Littell and Josh Lowe, but I mean the Rays are good right now. So why would they sell? But they do have a number of outfielders, Chandler Simpson, Jake Mangum, a couple other guys out there. So they have the depth to make a deal, with a guy like Josh Lowe. So we'll see. I know AJ will probably give up someone good for him, like a Cobb Hightower.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I like the Dallas and the Higgy deal probably the
Yeah.
most right now.
Yeah, I like that, Tom. It's just it fills your left field spot just naturally right away. It fills your catcher spot right
Filling
away.
holes.
We're just filling holes, filling
I
holes.
know
That's all we
AJ
do.
loves to fill holes from what I've heard about him and Encinitas. As a guy who also likes to fill holes, AJ, you have a couple to fill, bro.
I
Make
know
it
that
happen.
it's you're so good at identifying that in the past. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Maybe the ownership's not letting him fill as many holes as he wants to.
Yeah,
So
they're holding him back. He just wants to
yeah.
fill holes. Don't
Let
we
him
all
do
though?
yeah, let him do what he's good at. I think Sean Murphy is a huge potential ad where especially if the Braves have like someone made a great comp with the Braves being like the 23 Padres, where it's like their roster's stacked. They have insane talent. It should be, easily one of the top teams in their division, and they just can't seem to put it together. I know they had the exact opposite start of us because we played 4 games to start the year, and they've been like they're still under 500. It seems like when they go on a run, they take another step back. So I feel like the Braves could potentially be a seller. Sean Murphy to me is having a little bit of a down year offensively, but defensively he's insane. Last year he was a dog offensively. I feel like he'd be a solid one. And then yeah, O'Hearn Mullins, like you said, Trevor, I think that makes a lot of sense. I love the Garcia shout, Tom, and then especially with Higgy, that's probably my favorite one as well at this point in time. And then yeah, you've highlighted a few Marlins pitchers potentially, Trevor, and I think that a deal with the Marlins. I say this probably every every episode, so I'm like a broken record, but we love to trade with them. Speaking of fleecing, we love to fleece them too. So as long as the medical records are all good, we should be fine because maybe we'll get Sandy for the second time. But I'd say that'd probably be yeah, probably the top ones there. Murphy and Garcia. I like it, Tom. I can see it happening. I'm just hoping for a Rangers downfall then. Because if they go on a run, obviously it's not going to happen. But um, yeah, I like it. All right, Trev. There's one more
Yeah,
trade
one
candidate.
more trade
Uh,
scenario. You guys really want to tune into this. This is a big deal. This is big marketing dollars too, Eric Rubner. I know you're listening. You need to do this. Listen up here, Eric. Let me tell you how to run this team. So we need to acquire Bruce the Bat Dog from the
yes,
Nationals,
sir.
get them back for their fleece him tweet and thinking that they fleeced us for James Wood. We acquire Bruce the Bat Dog. Everyone will lose their minds. Marketing dollars out the wazoo. Apparently, grotesquely, they sent Bruce back down to the minors today. They brought him up for a few games, and
Do you send a
unfortunately,
dog
they
back to
sent
the
him down.
minors?
Yeah, how do you send a dog to the minors? That's insane. The disrespect for that good boy. I feel so bad for him. I know he's in shambles right now after getting a taste of the bigs to be sent back down. It's asinine to me, and I think it's the best marketing strategy to bring Bruce to Petco Park. Hello. Um, it's a great idea. I think the fans would love it. I think we need to get the Nationals back and fleece them for Bruce. So you guys need to make it happen. AJ Preller, get on the phones. You can maybe acquire a player with him as well. Maybe get James Wood back. But most importantly, we need Bruce. Please. Thank you.
Who would you give up for him though?
I would give up a lot, actually. I'd pay millions. He's worth a lot to me, a lot of marketing dollars, bro. So it's almost endless on what I'd give up for Bruce the Bat Dog.
Yeah,
Fernando
I've
for
heard
Bruce.
his
That's tough. You know, Titties is untouchable. But for Bruce, you never know. I don't know.
his wall's pretty good as well. His Wolves upon replacement or above. I fucked it
Whoops.
up, but Wolves above replacement.
Whoops
Yeah,
above
It's
replacement.
like
I've
20.
heard that's pretty
Crazy.
good.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, I could definitely see that. I've seen he's got pretty good sprint speed on him as well. So someone on the base pass, maybe go up Lockridge or someone. So
and the vibes too, the locker room vibes, bro,
Dude.
through the
hell yeah.
roof. Yeah,
Pecco,
it's a
you wanna
no-brainer.
if we need a renewal on the stadium rights, right? Pecco, hey, got Bruce coming in. Grubman, this could be like a $200 million acquisition here. Minimum.
Absolutely.
I like it. I love it actually. I think it makes total sense. And yeah, how dare them sending him back to AAA? How dare you?
So rude
So yeah, maybe you just can't travel, but either way, I don't like it.
for the home games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
well,
Wood just struck out now, so I think we fleeced the Nationals.
there we
Is that what
go.
they're on about? So
Yeah. All fleas. Two strikeouts in a row. He's gassed.
bro, I hate that. It's all
watch.
about like what you did the previous game.
I know. There's 162
Like
of them,
I
but
feel like
yeah.
they're Owen Miller. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, we traded Owen Miller like a couple seasons ago." It's like, bro, he's trash, and everyone loses their shit because he had one good month. That's
Yeah.
kind of how what they're doing with Gore right now. He's had 2 good months, so everyone's losing it, saying we lost
Yeah.
the trade.
Yeah, and even
God,
Abrams last year, he was had like 10 or 15 bombs, which you called Trevor that he was going to be a 30 home run guy. And then he just was absolutely ice cold for a couple months. So it's like, just let's see what the end of the year looks like, man. Yeah.
yeah, he didn't even play in the final like week of the season, maybe
No.
the last couple of games because he was gambling until 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that's
So what
wild.
does
I
that
forgot
say
about that.
about who he is as a person? We touched on that for James Wood. Abrams doesn't seem like that great of a guy either, out being a degenerate gambler till 8 a.m. in the morning, getting drunk.
That's
And
actually so funny. Like,
they held on to the gamer, the good guy, the gamer, and Jackson Merrill. So maybe they're just looking at those personality types and got rid of the guys that were a little shaky. I know heard a couple things about Gord too. So.
I'm glad he
I
chucked
like the
Gore in
trade.
there. I'm glad he
Yeah,
chucked Gore in there. We're getting little on the edge there. But couple of quick little Twitter shout outs. We got yeah, Ash_Padres. Her content's been fire lately. She's
he's
been
fire.
crushing it. And then I did have another one here. We'll save it for the next one because I lost it. My Twitter just refreshed. So Ash, you're the one for this one. I know we used to do that in the past. It's just fun to kind of shout you out on Twitter too. And then you get I don't know, it's like on certain podcasts you guys have like asked like questions or whatever and they like read I don't know if you guys have done this, but like I'll do this for like Tottenham podcasts I listen to, and it'll be like, oh, Ryan Walls or Podfathers asked this question. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Even though it like doesn't mean anything, it's just kind of cool. So if you boys get any names or anyone on Twitter or social media or just in general that you want to bring up at the end of the pod, we'll bring that back. That's a kind of fun little thing to do there. But any last little comments before we log off here, lads?
I think we'll get going. I think we're going to be a playoff team, and we're going to rattle off a few here, and it's the start right now.
7 series
Fuck
wins.
Dave Roberts.
Fuck Dave Roberts. We need AI to amend what Joe Musgrove said with the Dodgers, but with Dave Roberts. I think that'd be sick. Or you could just say it. He probably has said it. But I'm with you, Trevor. 7 straight series dubs, like Schilt is predicting. Tom, appreciate you coming on. Trevor, appreciate you coming on. We will be back here soon. Appreciate everyone listening to another episode of the Podfathers. Let's get this dub against the Nationals and then take care of business on the road. Peace.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Podfathers, a Slam Diego Padres podcast. The Podfathers is produced by Los and Walls and is executively produced by Jacob Lamb.
Our theme song is A Bubba by Trilock. To get in touch with the show, follow us on Twitter at Podfathers619. That is at PADFATHERS619, or email us at podfathers@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other major audio platforms.
Go Pods!